It just slides on like that to the adapter. Okay. 37, 23, 40s. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Preston. Today I have for you this 25-quart portable job site refrigerator made by Newair. Big shout out to the folks at Newair for providing this for me to review for you guys. It's designed to be your go-to fridge for any outdoor or job site application. It's painted this bright yellow color to keep all your food and drink items chilled at the job site or the picnic site or at the campsite. Whatever application you have, I think this is supposed to be able to meet your needs well. And we're going to test it out. What really makes this stand out amongst other portable refrigerators and coolers is that it allows you to use batteries that are made for your various power tool companies, such as Milwaukee, Bosch, Makita, and DeWalt. Will work with this fridge cooler. If you open this compartment up here, it's got space for 2 different batteries. Now it has proprietary batteries that will work with this, but you don't have to use those. You can get an adapter to plug in those other companies' batteries that I mentioned, and I think that really makes this stand out from other portable coolers out there, because you don't have to have a proprietary battery in order to work to use it mobile. Now you can still plug this in to various power sources, such as a standard outlet, or plug it into your cigarette style power outlet in a vehicle. But it is nice having the option for onboard batteries from multiple different sources. Now, being the portable unit that it's made to be, it's got this really nice grippy handle here and wheels, so you can, when you load fridges or coolers up like this, they can get pretty heavy, so it's nice to be able to have the option to just roll it along. This doesn't go very high, but at least it's got something. If you open it up here, it's sealed around here to prevent minimal air loss. It is a unidirectional open door. You cannot reverse the way that this opens, but if it's out in the open, like I think it's meant to be for most of its intents and purposes, that shouldn't be an issue. But I really like this. I like the compact size of it. 25 quarts, not the largest fridge out there, but it looks like it holds a sufficient amount of items that you'll need. All right, I'm just opening it up here. It looks like it comes with, here's your so you got your wall outlet here, 12 volt for your automobile, cigarette lighter style outlet. I think what I'll do is I'll start by plugging it into just a standard power outlet, just to get it going here. All right, you can see we have power now. It is currently 87 degrees inside the cooler. Now I think you can adjust the temperature range from -4 degrees Fahrenheit up as high as I think 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see here it also has a spot for you to charge a USB type A connector for you to charge various devices. Let's see. So right now it looks like it's set to -4. I just opened this thing up, so it's probably going to take this thing a while to reach a chilled temperature. The compressor is built by LG, and it is awfully quiet. I can hear it. If I put my ear next to it, I can tell it's on, but it is extremely quiet, although it is a little bit noisy in this garage with got the fan on. It's another sweltering hot summer day here in Texas, especially in the garage, but this should be a good test for this thing to see how it does when it's hot out, when you need it the most. And I'll also bring it out into the sun and see if we can get this in like a real world scenario where you might be using this and see how well it does, how well it keeps your items cold, how long the battery lasts. You can see right here, there's condensation forming here. So you know it's working. It's starting to chill. There's a lot of humidity in the air. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is let this thing bring the temperature down in here to like a refrigerated temperature that you might have beverages or food at. I'm gonna set it to, let's see, maybe like 35 degrees, just to start out, see how long it takes to reach that. All right, as you can see, we're now down to right around the set temperature. It's actually at 33 degrees, which is I think a little bit, yeah, it was set to 35, so, oh yeah, it's nice and chill in there. So we got an infrared thermometer here. Oh wow, it's reading 20s. Of course, that's the cooling element it's taking that temperature from. Let's see, down at the bottom, you're in the, well, still in the 20s. Newair was kind enough to send me the battery pack that's made for this and the adapter, so I'm going to go ahead and unbox that now. All right, I have my DeWalt tool bag here. A lot of times I'll bring this with me on trips so I can use the impact for changing a tire or whatever various things I need. Now I have two DeWalt batteries in here. Standard DeWalt 20 volt max lithium ion batteries. They are showing full charge. These have just been sitting in the tool bag here in the hot garage. Looks like it just slides on like that to the adapter. And open the compartments. Looks like this will just, these connectors here, okay, just slides in like that. And I'm wondering at the same time, if you got two adapters, you could probably use two of these. Since we have this proprietary one, I wonder if it'll charge these at the same time. And it doesn't appear to be charging that. Well, to see if this is working right, I'm going to unplug the cooler from the outlet now. And it looks like it is. The battery meter is now displaying a level. Right here shows your battery life. I do not see this charging. I wonder if it's mainly working off of this one. Maybe try to take this out, see what happens. And it still shows nearly a full charge. This is, like I said, showing a full charge on this. Let's see if I take this out. Yeah, you lose the power there. It doesn't automatically turn on if you take the battery out. You have to manually turn it on. So now I'm curious, if I take this out, put this battery in, will it turn on? Let's see. Okay, it's either got not enough juice or it doesn't pull from that secondary slot. Let me pull this adapter out, pull this out, put this in primary slot. I think it just doesn't have enough juice. You can see here, it's just showing one bar. So I may have to charge this separately. I'm not sure how. They didn't provide any sort of charging apparatus to plug this directly into like a wall outlet or something. What it might have to be is it needs to be put in here and then plugged in to charge. So let me put that in there. Let me plug this back in. All right, we are powered up again. And now it does show that it's charging, and you see the light there on the battery. So with this battery in the main first compartment there, it will charge it while it's plugged into at least the wall outlet. I can test this with the 12 volt DC adapter here. All right, this is my battery box power station. It's basically a battery container. I have a absorbed glass mat battery in there. You can turn this on, and it's got the it's got the USB ports and a 12-volt cigarette style outlet here. So I'm going to take that and plug it into the Newair refrigerator and see if it charges that battery. It's unplugged, but it's still charging. Oh, now it's running off the battery. So now with that battery in there, you can just unplug this from a wall outlet on the fly and it will continue powering. That's kind of nice. All right. It doesn't have a lot of juice though, so let's see. Plugging it into the portable power station, and it doesn't show that it's charging. Okay, now it is showing that it's charging the onboard battery from this portable battery. So that's good to know that I can charge that off of this. And I sometimes bring this with me on my off-roading, overlanding excursions, just to act as a backup to the fridge in the Jeep. But now I don't even really need to bring this. I mean, I'll still bring this, but I can use that onboard battery to supplement the cooling here in the meantime until I'm starting it up again, and that'll prevent from draining your main vehicle battery. Okay, for a second, oh, there it is. It's showing an F1 just a few minutes after being on this for a few minutes. I think the low voltage cutoff on this is set too high, maybe. This battery still has plenty of juice. It's been fully charged. It's showing 12.4 volts. And that thing will last, overnight. It should. It's done that on my other portable refrigerators. But this is showing 10.6 on its input reading. So might have to go into the settings here and change that. I had to do that on my previous, my Bosch RV portable refrigerator. So I have the instruction manual here by Newair, and it does talk about the battery protection mode. It says it's automatically, the factory default setting is high, so that's probably why it's starting to get an F1 code. And I don't really have a problem setting this much lower because I know my battery will still be running pretty well, and I don't have to worry about it cutting out a starter battery. So to lower the battery protection mode to a lower input voltage, battery voltage, press and hold this icon, this button right here, until the screen flashes. And it's not flashing. Press it again. Okay, that's adjusting your, whether it's in max or eco mode. Interesting. Press and hold until the screen flashes. Okay, there we go. You see the H, that's the high. There's L, there's M for medium. And that corresponds with the voltage reference chart that's in the instruction manual. So I'm going to set this to low. I think you just let go and it'll set it. It's interesting. This was still showing an F1 after it's changing the battery protection mode to low, and then it stopped charging, but now it's charging again. It's showing an input voltage of 10.6 volts, while my battery volt gauge is showing 12.0, 11.9, right around 12.0. And that's because it's pulling, it's drawing power right now, so that's going to read lower than it actually has. All right, so now that I've seen it work off of wall power, portable battery power, and that it does charge the onboard battery with either one, I think I'm going to test how long this will run off of just one DeWalt portable battery. Now remember, it doesn't just use you can use more than just a DeWalt brand. You can use Milwaukee, Makita, or Bosch. And you just specify on the website which adapter you need for your needs, or probably get multiple. But this one's specifically made to work with DeWalt. So I'm going to take this battery out. I'm going to put this in here just to bring it with me, even though it's probably not charging it. Turn my portable power off. wow. It shows two different battery meters for the two different batteries you have in here. I guess you can use them in conjunction and it'll show you the battery level on each one. You can see here this is showing 20 volts. That has to be the portable DeWalt one I just put in there. So I'm thinking the one on top is the one closest to you. The other one is the 10.5. That's the onboard proprietary battery that was not, just has a low charge. It's not charging either of them right now with it being plugged into the wall outlet, but I think that might change at some point, or maybe because they're both in there, I'd have to have just one in. Let's see what happens if you take. Meter. Now it's charging this battery on the second, so it can charge in either slot. I'm just wondering if you bought two of these, would you get like double the power or double the length of time? If I put this one back in. All right, so what happens now if I unplug it? So no charging, but you can definitely tell we're using part of that, the DeWalt battery more. Looks like it's just a tad too wide to fit in my portable fridge tray with the wheels. Now I'm sure these wheels probably come off somehow. And if you wanted to use this in conjunction with a fridge slide, you could probably do that. What is cool is they have a couple of mounting points for you to strap it down to. So that's always nice. All right, what I'm gonna do now is kind of simulate what it'd be like using this at a job site or a construction site. Chances are it'd be sitting out in the sun, or maybe not. I mean, they may have some sort of easy up or shelter that's shaded, which would probably greatly help this thing cool. And I have a feeling it's not gonna be able to keep it at the set temperature. As of right now, it's set to 35 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's currently at 46. I mean, I added all the stuff in it, and it was kind of the same temperature the whole drive back. But I mean, right now it's sitting in the hot Texas sun. It's about 98 degrees outside, and the humidity is quite high. This is about as good of an outdoor test you can get, just shy of taking it out to the desert and having it sit in 110 degree heat. And actually it's showing an F3 code right now. Okay, now it's back to 46. I don't know why, but it switched. And I think I'm gonna take out the chargeable battery and just see how well it does off the DeWalt power tool battery, which is still pretty much fully charged. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just to give it, this is probably, how you would run this. Oh, I got an extra battery here. Let me charge the Let me run the fridge cooler off of that. Just out enjoying my hot lunch break out at the job site. Enjoying a nice cold beverage, cold sandwich, a sandwich that's not soggy. So refreshing. Whew. It is hot. I'm gonna go in the air conditioning. Okay, well, after about 40 minutes of sitting here in the sun, the battery appears to have ran out. Now I can push the button and turn it on and it'll come on for just a little bit and say it's 53 degrees in there, but it looks like the battery died in that much time. And that was the DeWalt battery that it was running off of, just purely that DeWalt. And it did have most of the battery charge. It wasn't fully charged. So you can see it didn't really last that too long off of one DeWalt battery. It probably would have lasted longer if it had two in there. I think it definitely would have kept things, it was keeping things like solidly around 43 to 45 degrees, and it was set to 35. Now that's sitting in direct sunlight, which is probably the hardest task you can ask for one of these coolers, but arguably is one that you would use this, you would want to use it at a job site. It may be sitting in the sun for hours at a time maybe, or maybe it's best used in like a vehicle, or at least in the shade and with some sort of dedicated power, or using the portable power as a temporary option. Okay, this battery is showing full charge. Here's the other one that's still shows 1 bar, but that was obviously not enough to power it. It's also quite warm, I might add, after being here in the sun. I mean, everything in here is pretty hot. Showing about 4/5 or 80% charge. I do have it plugged in still. I had to unplug this from shore power, and it's now just running off of that battery. Now, as I'm running off of that other battery, I can charge this battery, this DeWalt charger. And that's kind of the beauty of this setup is if you have multiple power tool batteries, it runs out of one, you just swap in another, charge the other one in the meantime. And from my experience, the DeWalt batteries charge pretty quickly. I'd say maybe an hour or two, that battery will be fully charged. Probably by the time this one runs out, I can swap that out and you could just sit there. Of course, if you have a power source to charge that, then you might as well just plug this into the wall. It is a nice option to have. Now, these batteries are a few years old as well, and I've used them quite a bit. Their lifespans probably dropped over that period of time. So that could be part of it. If I had brand new set of DeWalt 20-volt batteries, they might perform differently. I guess one way to tell is the Newair battery, if it's fully charged, I want to say it'll last longer than these DeWalt batteries will. But there's only one way to find out. All right, well, it's the next day. I charged the Newair battery overnight, and it has a full charge now. And so now I wanted to see how well this battery, how long it'll last and without any external power, and how long it'll last cooling everything while it's in the sun. You can see it's showing a full charge on the battery. They're set to 34 degrees. We still have basically the same food items they had from the day before. Let's have it sit out here. I'll check on it periodically, and we'll see what the progress is of it. Well, after sitting out here in the sun on and off for about an hour, it's still maintaining the temperature pretty close to the 34 degree set temperature, and the battery's down to about 3/5. That means it'll last roughly 2.5 to 3 hours off the Newair proprietary battery. So far that's more promising than using my old DeWalt batteries, which only seem to last about 40 minutes. And so far it's keeping that temperature nice and cool here in the hot Texas sun, which it's just about as hot as it was yesterday. It's supposed to hit 99 today. I believe it's like 96 right now. And there is some cloud cover, but yeah, it's extremely hot. So we got 115, 118 degrees on the top of that. Oh, 120. Let's open this up. Ooh, battery is at 130-ish. Gets pretty hot in that compartment and with your batteries in there, and your batteries are what's susceptible to the heat. Let's see, what is it on here? Oh, it's considerably cooler, 108. For comparison, let's see what everything is in here. 37, 23, 40s. Oh, so it's keeping things chilled. You can see there's still some frozen condensation in there. Well, it's been about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Nothing left on the battery. I don't know why it's showing voltage on the other terminal. As you can see here, there's nothing in that side, just the adapter. And you can kind of see that thing's it's calling Mayday. It's like, change me. But still 37 degrees in there. Items are still almost ice cold. Parking tests. The Jeep has been sitting out here in the sun for the better part of the morning. It's now early afternoon, so it's pretty much just been baking, sitting inside the Jeep, plugged into the rear power outlet, 12-volt outlet. So we're going to see how well it's still cooling. It does have the auxiliary battery. Be interested to see if it's running off that or still running off the Jeep's power. It's still at 39 degrees, showing a full charge on the battery. Looks like it's running off the battery now. This would be flashing if it was charging, I believe. Depending what I'm pointing at, put it right on the cooling unit. You get the 20s to 30s. I've got this thing chilled down to around 4 degrees. It's actually set to its coldest setting, which is -4, but I guess it's just not been able. It's been sitting in my Jeep in the hot sun, so it's actually quite impressive that it's chilled it down to that. So what I'm going to do now is see how long it lasts on this battery, the Newair battery, at this temperature. And I'm also going to put some frozen items in here, see if it keeps them frozen. All right, fresh new tub of ice cream and some ice cubes. All right, it's been about 1 hour and 36 minutes. Let's check on this. That's still 7 degrees in there. We're about, we got 1 bar of battery left. Ice cubes are still frozen. Ice cream is too. Excellent. So during my time with the Newair 25-quart Portable Jobsite Refrigerator, I've come up with a list of 5 pros and 5 cons. So pro number 1 is that it keeps items cold in direct sunlight. Having owned a few other portable refrigerators in the past, I know how difficult it is for them to maintain internal temperature, to keep items cold, refrigerated, or even frozen when out in the hot sun. And this Newair portable refrigerator passed with flying colors. It did take a lot of juice in order to do that, but the fact that it did keep everything pretty close to the chilled or the set temperature speaks volumes about this awesome little fridge. Pro number 2 is its multiple power options. I like that you can plug it into the wall outlet in your house, into the 12-volt power outlet in your vehicle, and it has the option to carry up to 2 proprietary batteries that are built to run with this, and you can get the adapter to run it off power tool batteries. It gives you a wide range of ways to power this. Pro number 3 is its portability. Its relatively compact size means that it's fairly easy to move and carry this from one place to another, from inside your home to into a different vehicle. I really like that, and it allows it to, even if you don't have the biggest vehicle out there, you can probably find a place to put this. I think it fits really well in my refrigerator tray, and there's ample room around it, which allows for air circulation around the compressor, which is vital to keeping it cool. It's just overall a really good size. It's not the biggest fridge out there, but it holds a decent amount of drinks and food items that you might bring with you. Pro number 4, its durability and construction. I really like the fit and finish of this. It feels like a quality product, especially in the lid. The lid, when it closes, I mean, it really latches. I like the feel of that, especially since that's a part of it you're going to be using all the time. Even where the battery compartment is, even that really latches shut well. The only thing I might add is that they should color the lid for the batteries yellow or another light color to help keep that compartment cool. The buttons, the display, they all work great. The wheels that come with it, they are very, very durable. They got a nice soft rubber edge around them. A lot better quality than some of the other portable refrigerator wheels I've seen. And pro number 5, I already touched on this, but it's compact size, allows you to carry it with relative ease pretty much anywhere you need to bring it. Now, con number one is that it doesn't have a Bluetooth app to run, view, and change your temperature via a smartphone or some other device. I've really found that to be a helpful tool, especially when bringing this in a vehicle, especially when it's in the back and you can't check on it. That's really something I like to have, and I think it's something they could easily add to this, especially for the price point. Con number 2 is the power tool battery life is relatively low. And I touched on this before. It might be the fact that my batteries aren't exactly brand new, my DeWalt power tool batteries, but they only last about 40 minutes each, maybe an hour if conditions were more optimal. But I would expect a little bit more than that. If you're going to market this as being able to be used at the job site, you might want those power tool batteries to last a little bit longer in that regard. So I got to ding it on that, but it is very cool that you have that option, and that goes back to the pro of it being having versatile powering options. And con number 3, I think it's rather expensive just for it being a 25-quart fridge. The pricing isn't too bad, but I know you can get some others that are a little bit, that carry a lot more than this for about the same price or maybe a little bit more. But you can get this discounted if you go to the description, go to the affiliate link in the description below and use the coupon code MA10 to get 10% off this and any accessories for it. So in that regard, it's actually a pretty decent deal, I'd say. Given how well it performs, that might offset that a little bit. Con number 4, and this is being real nitpicky, is that the door only opens one way and it's not reversible. There are others out there where you can turn this around if you want it to open this way, which is nice to have options if you're using it in a fixed tray, such as what I have in the Jeep here. So I had to dock it on that. And con number 5 is that the batteries are expensive, but I think they're right in line with what other portable refrigerator batteries cost. But it's just when the battery costs about half of what the unit does. I mean, you don't need the battery to run the unit. You can plug it in, can run it that way, but in order to really take advantage of its portability, you want to have those batteries. And I mean, if you're buying 2 of them, it can hold 2 of those Newair proprietary batteries. And if you buy 2 of those, that's about the cost of the fridge. You could have bought a whole other fridge, but like I said, you can use the 10% coupon code MA10 when you check out and get 10% off the batteries for this and the fridge itself, which just actually ends up being a pretty decent deal, I think. And if you already have power tool batteries of the brands that we mentioned before, you can use that in conjunction with one of the Newair batteries, and then you have multiple power options there. So overall, I really think this is a great fridge. Most of all, I like how well it chills, how compact it is, easy to carry. I mean, we can take this out of here, put it in my wife's vehicle, put it back in here. It doesn't necessarily need to be strapped down the way this is, but I really like having it that way. But yeah, its cooling power and its ability to chill and freeze things and keep them that way in the sunlight to me is what makes this portable refrigerator shine. I think it's to make an excellent portable fridge for a camping or overlanding setup. In fact, I may use this on my future overlanding camping adventures. It's lasted overnight for several nights now without me having to plug it into shore power or some other external power supply besides the Jeep's. And it hasn't drained my Jeep's battery, and this thing's actually fully charged every morning when I come out and check on it, and it keeps everything the set temperature. So there's not much more I can ask for a refrigerator that I keep in my vehicle all the time. Anyways, that's it here for my review of the Newair 25-quart Portable Jobsite Refrigerator. I hope you found this useful or enjoyed this. If you did, Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Take care, everyone.